What up, what up, what up? It's your boy JB coming right back at you, man. Welcome back to the channel. Why Jason Whitlock, RASHAD MCCANTS, Gilbert Arenas, Kenyon Martin, why all of these guys have a problem with Stephen A. Smith. Guys, I'm gonna tell you, man, I love following these YouTube channels where a lot of these former athletes get on their platform, man, and we can get to know them at a different level than just being up and down the court. But I'm also, man, I'm a fan of Stephen A. Smith. I appreciate everything that he's done. And the one thing you learn when you get on this platform is being a person who has an opinion versus understanding media. It's two different things. And I think right now, I saw Jason Whitlock talking about how Stephen A. Smith was lying about his high school tryout, and Gilbert Arenas got a problem with the how Stephen A. Smith wouldn't state his source when they were talking about what was told to him about Jaylen Brown with Boston last year before he got his max deal. And then Kenyon Martin has always had a problem with Stephen A. Smith because he said Stephen A. Smith impacted how he got paid. But the one thing that happens, guys, is this. This is the craziest thing about this. People on YouTube, a lot of them are trying to get a show on the television networks. And the television network moguls, Stephen A. Smith, those type guys, they trying to get a platform on YouTube. It's the craziest dynamic. It's the craziest dynamic. You look at somebody like Cam Newton is now fried his own first take, right? So now you got the YouTube people trying to be on TV. You got the TV people trying to be on YouTube. But why do they hate Stephen A? Guys, the same way Stephen A hates them. Stephen A will never be a basketball player or a professional athlete. These guys will never be the face of ESPN or Sports Channel. Both of these guys are at the top of their profession. All these guys are at the top of their profession, but they want to be at the top of another profession. All we do, guys, is fight for clicks all day and try to have a take that people are interested in. And Stephen A. Smith has been doing it at a high level for a long time. But a lot of these podcast guys have been having good podcasts for a long time too. And again, we know that people are consuming media differently. But when I see it get personal, I got to give Stephen A. credit, man, because Stephen A. is calling these people out. He told Gil's Arena, y'all give me the invite and I'll come there to debate y'all. And I think one of the things we're going to learn is I've said this over and over. I've said this over and over. More and more people in these platforms need to sit down and have discussions, right? I don't know if y'all saw the Catholic Charities charity event in New York where Donald Trump was there. Well, what was interesting, guys, is that Donald Trump was sitting right next to Chuck Schumer. Now, Chuck Schumer's tell you that Donald Trump the worst thing since sliced bread. Donald Trump tells you that, Chuck Schumer the worst thing since sliced bread. But they sitting here at this charity event beside each other to raise money for the less fortunate people. Why is that not happening in this social media game, digital media game with the people from TV? Right? Let's be honest, man. Pat McAfee is the perfect setup for this. Pat McAfee has credibility in the digital media world, but he also has people that still want to go on his show. And I think, and I hate to bring race into it, but I think a lot of the black content creators, we always trying to prove how real we are, and we trying to say because I perceive realness like this, if you don't do it like me, you're not real. Well, Stephen A. got his platform for a reason. Gil's Arena, Jason Whitlock, all those guys, they got their arena too. And I think what happens is it's not meant for digital media and television to fight each other. What you got to do is the actual Pat McAfee process. He's dominating on the television platform and he's dominating in the digital platform. And why do they hate Stephen A. Smith? Because clearly Stephen A. Smith is mimicking Pat McAfee. You can tell it because if he wants to be paid that $25 million, if he wants to be the highest paid guy, he's got to outperform Pat McAfee in the digital media side, which is why when somebody calls him out, he'll go on those platforms. He can't do nothing else with ESPN. He owns everything that ESPN does. Sans Monday Night Football and maybe College Football Game Day. He's doing everything else. So he has to come on your show. Man, one day I hope Stephen A. Smith will debate me, especially from the political standpoint. He was on Sean Hannity last night. Great dude. He'll go on everybody's platform. And again, I don't have enough viewers for him to come debate me, But man, I'd love to sit down across from that guy and get his thoughts on stuff. And I think Jason Whitlock, Gil's Arena with RASHAD MCCANTS and Gilbert Arenas, Kenyon Martin, I think just like Jaylen Brown did. He and Jaylen Brown didn't see eye to eye. He on his platform. That's what y'all need to do, man. This man that bought Cam in on Fridays, he's going on everybody's platform, man. So I think that's one of the major problems. We got to all look at the Pat McAfee approach. These minority content creators got to get better about not going at each other's throat, talking about who's real and who's fake and all that kind of stuff, because it ain't getting us nowhere. Follow this Pat McAfee way, man, because if you can do that, he winning in all media. Man, get down in the comment section. Y'all think Jeff crazy or is Jeff on to something? If you hadn't already, mash that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on that bell for notifications. And until next time, I'm going to holler.